Hi, I'm Kristina Zelenski, and this is my case analysis of the Dropbox case that we've been talking about during week 2 in B483. So I'm supposed to answer these 2 questions. So Dropbox is a late mover in a crowded space. What will set them apart from their rivals? Mostly, I believe the Dropbox is a really amazing product. I currently use this, but this case ends in June of 2010, so I'm trying to stay into that time period. But Dropbox themselves, they do have competitors, but they are a very easy product to use. It basically is one of those really great tools that just works, and it's easy to install. And I know it's great because it kind of can work in the background. Like, you almost don't even know it exists. That is a great product. It doesn't have any hangups, and it just works great. So that's going to be something that definitely sets them apart from any of their other rivals. I also really appreciate the idea that they're trying to make one product, not have any super fancy product that only business users can have, but anybody, whether it's a regular consumer, whether it's somebody that doesn't even pay for the service, and just has a little bit of space that they use through Dropbox, the same great product can be used for anybody. The only difference is if you need more space, you pay for more space. That's it. But the same great quality is available for everybody, and I really appreciate that. So I think that's also going to set them apart from it. Let's see, what problems does Dropbox solve? So basically, the idea behind Dropbox is if you need to access some files, whether it be on multiple desktops, like say I have a laptop at home and I have a laptop at work, but there is something that I was working on at home and I forgot to put it on my flash drive, or I left my flash drive at home and it happened to be on my computer, I can access that through Dropbox. And so be able to access a certain file or some sort of creation digitally that I'm working on, I can access that from anywhere as long as I have internet access. And I think everybody has this problem. I know my husband particularly, he's used Dropbox to collaborate with people, whether it be in other states or just downtown. I've even used Dropbox to collaborate with my husband, and we're in the exact same office. And we're working in the exact same room. And we easily can just share things and update things really quickly. He can do it on his computer, and I can do it on my computer. So that's been able to give us just some fun access instead of having to download the file, pass it over, and then download the file again and pass it back. I really like that Dropbox just saves the patch of whatever's been worked on at that time, and so it doesn't even take up as much space whenever it does that. Instead of having to save the file every single time, it just saves what's been changed, and then you kind of move on. Also, at one point in time, we used to have really slow internet, and I appreciated that Dropbox didn't hold us up from finishing our projects just because we had really slow internet. Let's see here. I also think that Dropbox can be a growing company and can do really well because they're not trying to target their product to one certain type of people, like just large companies. They're trying to target their product to anybody in the world. And so I know that whenever you can serve a large amount of people, you can also receive a lot of income from that. So let's see here. So what earlier hypothesis turned out to be wrong? What does that mean? What does it mean to pivot? Okay, so at first they thought that people were going to search for their product online. So like for AdWords, so if I was going to Google and I was to search for cloud storage space, Dropbox might pull up. But they realized later on that this is not exactly how their product should be marketed, because sometimes people don't know that a product's out there, and so they aren't even missing it. So since they don't even know what they're missing, they can't even search for it. And so they paid a whole lot of money to have these AdWords service be able to attract and market their service, but it didn't turn out to be as great of a return as they had hoped. And it turns out that they were actually taking their product to beta, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those people that beta tested it are the ones that end up being like their own little cheerleaders and going out and telling all their friends and their family members, being like, hey, you got to try this product, it's really awesome. And from there, it just continues to grow. I'm actually a product of that because I didn't know Dropbox existed until my husband said, you should download it and we should use it. And so, I mean, even just the word of mouth, and that's free, and it's a whole lot more stable and real, because sometimes you can read stuff online and you don't actually believe it. But whenever I hear from like my friends and my coworkers and my husband all about the same thing, I'm like, okay, it's a real deal. And so there's more trust involved from word of mouth. So if they decide to pivot from, you know, not doing as much marketing or paying for marketing, and they just really try to stick with all the word of mouth, that might actually be a better way to go. So that's my quick analysis.